Donald Trump is campaigning in Indiana, and we want to play you a clip of him and former Indiana Hoosier basketball coach Bobby Knight in a meeting taking a question from a World War II vet. I'm going to let this whole thing play because it's good. I'm thrilled the way they honor this vet. But the end of this, just watch the end.
Thank you. Thank you, Forrest.
As an Indiana University graduate and a World War II vet, I have a tremendous respect for the General, Bobby Knight. And Mr. Trump, how would you compare your successful career and philosophy with Coach Knight?
Well, it's actually a great question. I just love his philosophy. I mean, we're in a different world, and he was in the world of sports, and nobody did better. And you know, one of the great things about Bobby that a lot of people don't know is he really trained a lot of great coaches, some of the best. Like you look at Duke, and you look at so many of the different places where they have the great coaches. They were trained, and they worked with Bobby. But Bobby was, you know, his field, a tremendous leader, and what he's done is phenomenal. So I'd like to put myself in a category even close to Bobby as far as that. You talk about the word leadership, that's leadership. Thank you.
That was very nice of you to say that. I appreciate it. But let me say another thing about Mr. Trump. And I think we're a little bit alike in that regard. If we're involved in something where we want to win, and particularly something that's necessary, if there's something out there where we need to win, we're going to try and beat your ass every time we can.
Now, obviously that language is a little bit gruff, but you see the room? All right, this is where Hillary's fragile little world doesn't work. That room is filled with women. There's a lot of children. And Bobby Knight makes that line. We're going to, if we know we need to win, we're going to kick your blank, okay? That's how a lot of people in the world talk, including a lot of devout people. And there's a lot of women in that room. I guarantee you many of them are evangelicals, they're Roman Catholics. And what did they do? They stood to their feet, they cheered. Because we're in a different world than we were 15, 20, 30 years ago. President Reagan would not have said that, and he wouldn't have had anyone with him say it. He just wouldn't have. But that was then, and this is now. I'm not saying that that type of speech, that we should just be also callous to it, that it doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is we've had 8 years of Obama where we're the world's weakling. We're like the world's dumb giant. They take advantage of us with the trade deals. They commit acts of terror against us. Our president goes and he bows down to the Saudi Arabian king. There was one press report I read, there was no one there to greet him no leader of state to greet him when he landed in Cuba. Nobody there in Saudi Arabia. This is insult. It's because in this horrible trade deal with Iran. So people are fed up with it. And one of the things that Donald Trump and Bobby Knight exude is confidence. I'm a man's man. If I need to beat you, I'm not just going to beat you. I'm going to beat your butt. I'm going to kick your butt. And, you know, Hillary's, well, we don't want to build a wall. We want to build bridges. You know what? That's going to work with a handful of people in a college setting or people who have been taught political correctness their whole life. But that's not going to work with people that are fed up with what's going on in the world, in our country, with our foreign relations. It's not going to, it's just not. And let me say one other thing about the Cruz Fiorina thing. Americans love a winner. Up until the Tuesday blowout in the Northeast, there was a lot of people rooting for Ted as the underdog. There really were. I I admit, I love an underdog. But after that, it was such a trouncing. People are like, enough. Okay, enough. Now, the pact with him and Kasich, him picking Carly, it's clear that he's a spoiler. And the word spoil just doesn't sit right with most people after a while. I like sour cream, but I don't like spoiled sour cream. And that's the thing. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is going to actually have the exact opposite effect. People are going to start to say enough already. We'll see if I'm right. I've been right so far.